Hyundai's i30 Fastback delivers a bit of extra style to the family hatchback segment. We've not seen Gran Turismo class 5-door coupe styling in a Focus sector model before. This one delivers it with affordable elegance.
Fastback. The name sounds quite dynamic, and at first glance the mechanical recipe does to some extent too. Compared to the ordinary i30 hatch, this variant rides 5mm lower, and there are what Hyundai calls performance-orientated shock absorbers, plus the suspension's 15% firmer and uses the kind of proper multi-link arrangement that's lacking in lower-order versions of many rivals. Okay, so the two mainstream engine options are the same modestly powered 1-litre and 1.4-litre TGDI petrol units you'll find in any ordinary i30, but if that's not sufficient, you can ask your dealer about the potent 2-litre turbo petrol unit used in the i30N hot hatch variant. That sort of performance seems a bit of a world away in the kind of more ordinary fastback model we've chosen to focus on here. But the handling, sure enough, is a touch sharper if you're minded to throw this car into corners in a way a typical owner almost never would. Something no doubt also helped a little by this body shape's extra 115mm of length over the rear axle. The Fastback moniker, from Hyundai's perspective anyway, designates more of a grand touring demeanour. So quite a lot of care has been taken to ensure that the stiffer suspension doesn't overly damage ride quality. To great effect. Yes, you do pick up nastier tarmac tears a little more than you would in the more conventional model, but roll through the corners has been usefully reduced to compensate. Overall, for us, the ride and handling balance here is preferable to that of the standard i30 hatch. Try it and see if you feel the same. As for the efficiency figures, well, they're reasonable enough. This 120 PS 1-litre TGDI variant recording 54.3 miles to the gallon on the combined cycle and 120 grams per kilometre of CO2. Go for the Pokia 140 PS 1.4-litre TGDI derivative and you'll be offered the option of an efficient DCT dual-clutch auto gearbox. The stylists created this fastback variant from a completely clean sheet of paper, apparently inspired by classic Gran Turismo models of the 50s and 60s in creating these flowing contours and this sloping silhouette. This fastback model sits 30mm lower than the conventional i30 hatch and is 115mm longer. The bonnet's lengthier, and at the rear end this three-dimensional sculpted C-pillar is far more shapely. Enough with that, let's take a seat at the wheel. If you happen to be familiar with any of the other i30 models in the range, you'll be instantly at home here because nothing's changed at all with this fastback variant. Premium touches and splashes of interesting design are somewhat lacking, which is disappointing after the expressive exterior styling. But it's hard to fault either the quality or the solid finishing of the fixtures and fittings. The biggest cabin talking point is this standard 8-inch colour touchscreen. This is your interface for controlling satellite navigation, the DAB audio setup, and a package of TomTom live services that alert you to speed cameras, update you on the weather, and provide accurate information on traffic jams and roadworks. You can also connect in your handset using the Apple CarPlay and Android Auto phone projection smartphone mirroring systems. Time to move to the back seat. Now, Hyundai's keen to talk about the sleek teardrop shaping of this car and the way the roof has been lowered by 25mm. But you'd think that could make getting into the back a little more difficult than it might normally be in a car of this class. And sure enough, you do have to duck slightly upon entry. But once inside, headroom isn't actually too bad unless you happen to be exceptionally tall. Finally, let's take a look in this Hyundai's boot. Despite the sloping roof, in straight stat terms, there's theoretically a little more space here than there would be in the ordinary hatch model, 450 litres as opposed to 395 litres. So let's summarise. Will other volume brands follow Hyundai's lead here and produce stylised Gran Turismo-style versions of their conventional family hatches? We doubt it. The Korean company probably hopes they won't. That will, after all, leave this i30 Fastback as a unique option in its otherwise rather dull segment. It's sensibly stylish, and there has to be a market for that.